Hey everybody, Brother Kyle here, and welcome to the first official episode of the Dick Bird Nest. And today I'm going to be going over what I thought of the Amazon original series, The Boys. Okay, so I, um, The Boys was an original comic created by Garth Ennis, and I believe it was I can't remember the company that did it, but it was a company that was owned by DC, and they did a 6 series run, I think, and then DC canceled it. It was very graphic, and Garth Ennis, his quote was he was trying to out Preacher. And after watching The Boys, I definitely want to. I've never seen Preacher or read it. I definitely want to do both now. But it was then picked up by Dynamite Comics, and I recently this year read the entire series. I think I still have to go read a couple of the mini series. I didn't read Hero Gasm, and I think there was a Butcher Origin one that they did. But I read the entire the actual run, and it's so good. It's like one of the best things I've read, and it's insane. And when they announced that they were doing this show, I was super excited. Um, and yeah, I as soon as it came out, I watched it the whole thing, very quickly, and I just gotta say that I really really enjoyed it, and I do recommend it to anybody. If anybody likes superhero shit, this is by far. I don't want to say it's the best because it's not your typical suits of it's a superhero deconstruction. So basically, the idea is there's these superhero teams and they roll in, they save the day, but what you're not seeing is after that, there's so much collateral damage. They don't care about human life because they are, they think that they're above everything because they're powered, and you know, there's nothing to stop there's nobody to stop anybody from or to stop them from doing what anything they want to do. So in the comics you see them, after the whole big superhero rescue party, they're fucking hookers and just doing drugs and all kinds of crazy shit. They will kill anybody. Like they don't give a shit about anything. So the boys are a team that's backed by the CIA, and they are there to keep the superheroes in check. So they monitor and then they check them whenever they step out of line. They make things right as best they can anyway. So if you ever get a chance to read it, I definitely recommend it. But the show, so amazing. They changed a bunch of things, but I didn't see any problem in any of it. One of the biggest things was the main antagonist was a character named Stillwell, and they gender switched him from a male a character in the comic to a female, which it's whatever. They actually wrote it into the story, very well. She has a relationship with the Homelander, who is the main bad guy. He's kind of like the Superman type, and he's the leader of the Seven, is like a Justice League parody. So you know that was one of the major changes. They changed a lot to the story in the. I don't want to spoil a lot of shit, so I don't want to tell you exactly what happened in the books because they might later go into that in the show. But in the books, so be careful for any spoilers. Obviously, in the books, the boys actually have a strength enhancer that they use that kind of puts them on an even playing field. So one of the biggest things about that is that the superheroes have powers, but they're all dummies. They're all untrained. Basically they just fly in, fuck shit up, and then leave. So if you give the super strength to people that are actually trained, like the boys, then they're able to kind of even the playing field a little bit. Some highlights to the show. Sorry, I actually have notes here. Like I did this before for my first thing. I didn't have anything to go on, so now I actually have some notes. So if you see me looking down, I'm just checking this ripped off sheet of loose leaf. So the character of Huey is the main he's the kind of the centrist of the show. He played by a guy named Jack Quaid, and I really like I like his portrayal of the character. I really like the fact because in the books the character of Huey is based off of Simon Pegg, his look. So I thought it was really cool that they had Huey's dad. They had Simon Pegg play him, which was a nice touch and kind of like a little Easter egg. But the character, he was great. Erin Moriarty as Starlight, she was really good. I forget the guy's name that played Homelander, but he was really good. Of course, Carl Urban is awesome. He's always fucking awesome. He has great Cockney accent. I believe it was Cockney anyway. But yeah, that was good. The guy that played 8 Train, I thought was one of the better actors. Jesse Usher was his name. He had a lot of really intense, like emotional scenes, which were really. Just thought he did a really good job. Um, shit. Yeah. So they also had a. I'm curious to know if any of the casting people were involved in Jessica Jones because they had a character that played a publicist for the company that runs the superheroes vault. Her name was Colby Minifie, and she was the sister of the brother and sister that lived next to Jessica Jones in the first season. And Erin Moriarty also was played, I think her name was Hope, was the girl that was hypnotized by the Purple Man in the first season of Jessica Jones. So maybe it's a coincidence, but I wonder if they had some connections with the two. Elizabeth Shue, the fucking Karate Kid. Obviously, she was. You know what I mean. She was the Stillwell, and she did a really good job. I really just love the casting that they did, but the plot was really good. The way they presented so I just don't want to spoil anything, but the changes that they made from the show to the books kind of were great. I think they actually scaled it back a little bit as far as the intensity of the violence and the gore and just all the fucked up shit that happens. Obviously the books were so graphic that they probably couldn't show, but I think Seth Rogen said he was one of the guys that created it, along with Eric Kripke, by the way, the guy that made Supernatural. So they were involved in this show. I think they were pretty surprised at what Amazon let them get away with, and so before the show even dropped, they did renewed it for a second season, which is very exciting. So yeah, I don't really have much else to say because I don't want to spoil anything, but those are just kind of my thoughts on it, and I hope you enjoy these videos. Let me know, man, because if these things suck, like if you want me to go into more like detail about the shows or stuff that I'm talking about, but I'm afraid to spoil things for you. So just let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the boys. And please like, subscribe, share, and hit that motherfucking bell. Alright, everybody. Brother Kyle out. Caw. I'm definitely going to stop saying Brother Kyle out. I'm sorry. That's the last time I'm going to do it. Should have done an intro to this, too. Oh, well. Alright. Thanks for putting up with my nonsense.